Hi guys, I'm Megan Graham, and today I'm here to talk to you about dark brown hair with highlights. Now, this is something that I feel most hairstylists and hair colorists simply do not give enough thought to. So, I own a hair salon on Newbury Street in Boston, Massachusetts, and I have been doing hair for 20 years. I've actually seen over 10,000 women to color their hair, and I really want to bring you some of the tips and the tricks that I've learned doing what I do for this long. So first of all, I want to share this picture with you, and it is of caramel highlights on dark hair, or you could say honey highlights. You can call it whatever you want, but it's actually a dark-haired client that came in last week, and I'm going to show you this photo right here. So this photo that I'm going to put up now is actually showing the before result. So in the before result, the initial highlights are very stripy, there's a lot of contrast, and it just doesn't look pretty, and it doesn't look like natural highlights on brown hair. In the second photo, you're going to see the result that I created after doing a highlight and a glaze, as well as an Olaplex treatment, and I have a much more natural and healthy looking result. So here is something that you really need to remember if you are getting highlights in your brown hair. One thing that hair colorists, or actually I would say hairstylists that call themselves hair colorists, but I don't think that they truly are because they don't have a full understanding of color. So anyway, a lot of people approach brown hair as if it were blonde hair, and they just put the exact same highlights into that hair, and it winds up looking like frosted hair. So one of the key things that you have to keep in mind if you have brown hair is that if you want your hair to look natural with highlights, you don't want to do highlights that are more than 3 shades lighter than your hair. So if you have too much contrast, it's just not going to look natural. If it's a little bit softer and more muted, you're going to get that beautiful sun-kissed effect that at least most of the clients that come to visit me at my Newbury Street salon are after. If you're enjoying this video and you're getting value from the things that I'm talking about, please do me a favor and hit the like button. So please also leave me a comment below. Are you a brunette? Are you thinking about being a brunette? And what is your experience with highlights? Also, please subscribe to my videos for more updates from my channel and notifications as soon as my new videos come out. So let's talk a little bit about the photos that I just shared. Now, this client came to me and she wanted low maintenance highlights for brown hair. And as soon as I looked at her hair, I mean, first of all, she has gorgeous hair, but there was just far too much contrast. So a lot of people would have looked at that client initially and they would have said, I'm going to just take a brown color and I'm going to put it on your entire head and wipe out all of those highlights, and then we'll start fresh. Now, here's the problem. If you do that, you've wiped out all of the highlights and you've created a new canvas, if you will, but you also have to do the damage that was already done a second time. So one of the things that I really focus on when I'm doing a brunette's hair color is to treat the hair as gently as possible and to take any highlights that are already there and work with what is there. So I might be altering them by putting some highlights and lowlights onto the brown hair, but I'm not going to just wipe everything out unless the hair is just positively such a disaster that it can't be fixed with a corrective foil. So when Elizabeth came to me, and that is the name of the client that I showed you photos of, what I did was I actually just connected the foils that she already had in her hair to her existing root color. And some of the foils were a little bit more thickly woven than I would have done, but it's really important that you at least partially match up the weave that the last colorist has done when you are highlighting a client's hair. So if I went from that thicker weave to a very baby fine weave, it's just not going to look consistent and it's not going to look natural. So I highlighted her hair and I was super careful because the last person that highlighted it had actually over processed her hair, especially underneath her hair where fortunately at least you can't see it. So I stayed off of all of that damage and I did not pull any of the lightener through that. After I highlighted her hair and processed it properly, we washed her hair and then we applied a product by Goldwell, which is called New Blonde. Now what New Blonde does is it lifts your natural root color up about half a shade. One important thing to remember and to know when using this product is that anytime you lift brunette hair up a level, it's going to be a little bit warmer. So if you have a client that absolutely does not want to see any warmth, I would stay away from lifting the base, breaking the base, smudging the base, and just leave their base exactly as it is. So after we lifted her base, then we took a beautiful caramel glaze and worked it through all of her hair. After that glaze sat on for 10 minutes, we actually took the Olaplex treatment and we let that sit on her hair for 10 minutes. And after we washed everything out, the result was so natural. It was just a beautiful brown result with soft and natural highlights, and the client could not stop smiling. So this is just a little bit about what I do in the salon, but I think it's really important to remember that brown hair is not blonde hair, and the important thing is to work with the color that you have naturally. I personally like to stick to a color that's not too far away from the color family that my client comes in with, because I find that most people can't do the maintenance. You know, if you take someone with, if you can see my hair, it's very dark. If you take someone with very dark hair and you actually go and make them a platinum blonde, they're going to have a really tough time maintaining that, and it's also really tough on their hair. So I really hope that this was helpful to you. I love talking about hair color, and I would love to get some questions from you below. Thank you so much, and stay healthy and stay beautiful, and I will talk to you guys soon.